I stood in the parking lot of Target at 4 in the morning on Black Friday, 2019, watching two grown women physically fight over a television that neither of them actually needed, and I had an epiphany. This is insane. This entire manufactured shopping frenzy is absolutely insane, and I've been participating in it for over 15 years, like some kind of capitalist zombie. That was the moment I realized that Black Friday isn't a shopping holiday. It is a psychological manipulation campaign designed to make us believe that buying stuff we do not need at prices that are on T. Even that good makes us smart consumers instead of the suckers we actually are. Can you guess which city I'm talking about? If you haven't subscribed yet, hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications to support the channel. Your support means everything as I share these honest takes that need to be heard. My name is Jessica, and I'm a 38-year-old marketing professional who should have known better. I work in advertising. I literally create campaigns designed to convince people to buy products. I understand consumer psychology. I know all the tricks. And yet, for 15 years, I still fell for the Black Friday hype every single November. I set alarms for 3 in the morning. I mapped out store routes like I was planning a military operation. I fought crowds of aggressive shoppers. I spent money I didn't have on things I didn't need. And I told myself I was winning because I got a good deal. But here's what nobody talks about. Those deals aren't even real most of the time. The discounts are inflated. The doorbusters are limited to 3 units per store so they can legally advertise them while knowing 99% of shoppers will never get them. The prices you see on Black Friday are often the same prices or sometimes even higher than what those products cost a few weeks earlier or a few weeks later. It's all theater. It's all manufactured urgency designed to override your rational brain and activate your primitive fear of missing out. I didn't always hate Black Friday. Like most Americans, I grew up thinking it was just what you did. The day after Thanksgiving, you went shopping. It was tradition. It was fun. It was an adventure. My mom would take me and my sister to the mall on Black Friday morning, and we'd spend a few hours browsing the sales, maybe buy a few Christmas gifts. It was crowded but manageable. It was a shopping trip, not a contact sport. But somewhere in the early 2000s, Black Friday mutated into something completely different. Stores started opening earlier and earlier. First it was 6 in the morning, then 5, then 4, then midnight. Then stores started opening on Thanksgiving evening itself, forcing employees to leave their families so shoppers could get a jump start on deals that were exactly the same as the Friday deals. The crowds got more aggressive. The deals got more hyped. The entire event became this frenzied nightmare that somehow we all agreed to participate in without questioning whether it was actually worth it. My first real Black Friday shopping experience was in 2004. I was 21, broke, living in a tiny apartment in Chicago, and determined to buy Christmas presents for my family despite having approximately $75 to my name. Black Friday seemed like the perfect solution. I'd heard stories about amazing deals, 50-inch TVs for $200, designer clothes for 90% off. I could stretch my meager budget and actually get decent gifts for everyone. I dragged my roommate Sarah out of bed at 4:30 in the morning. We bundled up against the Chicago cold and drove to the nearest shopping center, arriving just before the 5 o'clock opening. Even though we were early, the parking lot was already packed. People had been camping out in their cars since midnight. Some stores had lines of people wrapped around the building, waiting for the doors to open. The energy in those lines was bizarre. People were excited but also tense, like runners at the starting line of a race. There was this palpable sense that we were about to go into battle, and that's exactly what happened when the doors opened. I've never experienced anything like it. The crowd surged forward like a wave. People were pushing, shoving, running toward whatever doorbusters they'd targeted. Sarah and I got separated within 30 seconds. I found myself being carried along by the momentum of the crowd, unable to even control where I was going. It was genuinely frightening. I'm 5'3" and weighed maybe 110 pounds at the time. I felt like I was going to get trampled. I eventually made it to the electronics section, where I'd planned to buy a DVD player for my dad. Every single doorbuster was already gone, completely sold out in less than 5 minutes. The DVD players that remained were barely discounted. I ended up buying one for only $10 less than it had cost the week before Thanksgiving, but I didn't realize that until later when I checked the store's previous ads. In the moment, I just felt grateful to have found something. I spent 4 hours in that store fighting crowds, waiting in endless checkout lines, and spending every dollar of my $75 budget. I bought gifts that I convinced myself were great deals. A sweater for my mom that was 40% off but still more than I would normally spend on a sweater. A video game for my brother that was buy one get one 50% off, which meant I had to buy 2 games to get the deal. So I ended up spending more money than I'd planned. Random gadgets and accessories that seemed like bargains because they had bright sale tags. When Sarah and I finally made it back to our apartment around 11 in the morning, we collapsed on the couch, exhausted and hungry because we'd skipped breakfast. We compared our purchases like war veterans comparing battle scars. Look what I got. Look how much I saved. We felt victorious. We'd survived Black Friday and come home with treasure. Except when I actually looked at what I'd bought, none of it was that impressive. The gifts were fine, but not special. The prices were okay, but not amazing. And I de-spent my entire gift budget in one chaotic morning. Instead of thoughtfully shopping for things people would actually love. But I'd been so caught up in the Black Friday hype, so convinced that I was getting incredible deals, that I didn't question any of it. That became my pattern for the next 15 years. Every Thanksgiving, I'd spend hours poring over Black Friday ads, making lists, planning my route, setting alarms. Every Black Friday morning I'd drag myself out of bed in the dark fight crowds of aggressive shoppers and spend money on things that seemed like good deals in the moment but were actually just okay prices on stuff I didn't really need. The worst part was watching Black Friday get progressively more intense and more insane every single year. Stores started opening at midnight, then 10 at night on Thanksgiving, then 8 at night. Employees had to cut their Thanksgiving dinners short to go work retail jobs where they'd be verbally abused by entitled shoppers. I participated in that system. I was one of those shoppers. The violence got worse too. Every year there were news stories about Black Friday injuries, people getting trampled in stampedes, shoppers pepper spraying each other over toys, fistfights breaking out over parking spaces, or place in line, or the last discounted television. In 2008, a Walmart employee was literally trampled to death by a crowd of shoppers rushing through the doors. People died, and we kept participating in this insanity. Online shopping was supposed to make it better. Cyber Monday became a thing, offering supposedly equivalent deals without the crowds and violence. But that just extended Black Friday into a 5-day marathon of spending. Black Friday, Small Business Saturday, Super Sunday, Cyber Monday, and whatever they've decided to call Tuesday now. An entire week of constant shopping pressure and limited time offers and flash sales and countdown timers creating artificial urgency. And then Black Friday started creeping earlier into November. Black Friday week became a thing. Then Black Friday month. Now stores start advertising Black Friday deals in early November, and some sales run through the end of the month. Black Friday has metastasized from one day into an entire season of aggressive consumerism. The turning point for me, the moment that finally broke through my Black Friday delusion, came in 2019. I'd been at my marketing job for 5 years by that point. I'd worked on enough retail campaigns to understand exactly how these sales work behind the scenes. I knew that most Black Friday prices are carefully calculated to seem amazing while actually maintaining healthy profit margins. I knew that doorbusters are intentionally limited inventory to draw crowds who will then buy other stuff at less impressive discounts. I knew that the entire event is psychologically engineered to override rational but knowing all that intellectually didn't stop me from participating. That's how powerful the cultural programming is around Black Friday. Even though I professionally understood it was manipulative marketing, I still believed on some level that I'd be missing out if I didn't participate. The fear of missing out is incredibly powerful. It doesn't matter if you logically know you're being manipulated. The emotional pull is still there. So that year, like every year, I went Black Friday shopping. I arrived at Target at 3:45 in the morning. The store had opened at midnight, but I'd at least stopped doing the midnight madness years earlier. The parking lot was still completely packed at 4 in the morning, which should tell you everything you need to know about how normalized this insanity has become. I made my way inside and started working through my list. I was looking for a new laptop, some kitchen appliances, maybe some clothes. The laptop I wanted was already sold out. Of course, the doorbusters are always sold out unless you're literally first in line. So I started looking at other laptops, trying to calculate whether the Black Friday prices were actually better than what I could get online or at other times of year. That's when I heard the commotion. Loud voices, then shouting, then screaming. I looked over and saw 2 women physically fighting over a television, pulling hair, shoving each other, screaming obscenities. Security was rushing over. Other shoppers were pulling out their phones to record it. The whole thing was absolutely absurd. 2 adult human beings fighting over a television that probably wasn't even discounted that much. In a store full of other televisions, at 4 in the morning, the day after Thanksgiving, and I looked around at the scene. The exhausted store employees who'd been forced to work all night, the aggressive shoppers with wild eyes pushing overflowing carts through the aisles, the screaming children whose parents had dragged them out in the middle of the night, the trash and abandoned items scattered everywhere, the entire chaotic, wasteful, degrading spectacle of it all. And I thought, what am I doing here? I put down the item I'd been holding. I walked out of the store. I sat in my car in that packed parking lot and had a genuine moment of clarity. I didn't need any of the things I'd been planning to buy. I didn't even really want most of them. I was there because I'd been conditioned to believe that Black Friday shopping was something I was supposed to do. That I'd be a sucker if I paid full price when Black Friday deals existed. That missing out on Black Friday sales was missing out on the best opportunity of the year to save money. But it was all a lie. The deals weren't that good. The experience was miserable. The environmental impact of all this consumption was terrible. The social impact of forcing retail workers to give up their holidays was terrible. The literal violence and injuries that resulted from this manufactured shopping frenzy was terrible. All of it was terrible, and I'd been participating for 15 years without questioning any of it. I drove home, I made a pot of coffee. I sat down with my laptop and started actually researching the Black Friday deals I'd been planning to chase. I looked up price histories, I compared the Black Friday prices to prices from the previous month and to prices from other retailers. And I discovered what I should have known all along. Most Black Friday deals are not actually that impressive. Some items are genuinely discounted, but many are either minimally discounted or are cheaper at other times of year or are last year's models being cleared out to make room for new inventory. The 50-inch TV that those women had been fighting over, it was $299 on Black Friday. Seemed like an amazing deal, right? Except that exact model had been on sale for $325 in early November at a different store. And if you waited until January, after the holiday shopping season, it would probably be even cheaper as stores cleared out holiday inventory. The Black Friday price wasn't special. It was just marketed as special. The laptop I'd wanted, the Black Friday price was $499 for a model that normally retailed for $700. Seems like a great deal until you realize that particular model goes on sale for around $500, pretty much every month. The Black Friday price wasn't some incredible, once-a-year opportunity. It was the same sale price you could get with minimal effort any time of year. I started tracking prices after that. I used websites that monitor price histories. I signed up for alerts from deal trackers, and I discovered that Black Friday is mostly smoke and mirrors. Yes, there are some legitimate deals, particularly on certain categories like televisions and electronics. But the majority of Black Friday pricing is just regular sale pricing with extra marketing hype. The worst scam is what retailers call Black Friday pricing, where they actually raise prices in the weeks before Black Friday so they can advertise bigger discount percentages on Black Friday itself. A sweater that was normally priced at $40 gets bumped up to $60 in early November, then goes on Black Friday sale for $30, advertised as 50% off. Shoppers think they're getting an incredible deal when they're actually paying less than normal price, but not by as much as the marketing suggests. Once I understood how deeply manipulated the whole Black Friday system was, I couldn't participate anymore. It felt like a betrayal of my own intelligence. I work in marketing. I understand persuasion and manipulation, and I'd been falling for the most obvious manipulation tactics in the book for 15 years. It was embarrassing, so I stopped. I stopped Black Friday shopping cold turkey. No more waking up at ungodly hours. No more fighting crowds. No more stress and chaos and wasted time. And you know what happened? Absolutely nothing bad. I didn't miss out on anything important. I still bought Christmas gifts for people. I just bought them thoughtfully throughout November and December instead of panic buying in one chaotic morning. I still got good prices. I just found them by comparison shopping and using price tracking tools instead of assuming Black Friday was automatically the best deal. The amount of time, energy, and stress I saved was incredible. Black Friday had become this major event in my November that required preparation, planning, execution, and recovery. Without it, my Thanksgiving weekend became actually relaxing. I spent time with family. I cooked. I watched movies. I rested. It was revolutionary. But the social pressure to participate in Black Friday is intense. My friends thought I was crazy. My family questioned whether I'd become some kind of anti-capitalist radical. Coworkers shared their Black Friday victories and asked what I'd gotten, and when I said nothing, they looked at me like I'd grown a second head. The cultural programming around Black Friday is so strong that opting out is seen as weird or irresponsible or missing out. I started being more vocal about why I'd stopped participating. I'd explain the price manipulation, the artificial urgency, the minimal actual savings, the terrible impact on retail workers, the environmental waste, the literal violence. Some people were receptive. They'd never thought about it critically and appreciated hearing a different perspective, but many people got defensive. They'd argue that they really did get good deals, that they enjoyed Black Friday shopping, that I was being judgmental or pretentious. The defensiveness makes sense. Nobody wants to hear that something they've been doing for years is actually kind of dumb and wasteful, that they've been manipulated, that the deals they were so proud of getting weren't that special. It's easier to dismiss the criticism than to examine your own behavior. But here's what I want people to understand. I am not saying you're stupid if you shop on Black Friday. I'm saying the system is designed to manipulate you, and it's incredibly effective at doing so. Even smart, savvy consumers fall for it because the psychological tactics are sophisticated. Fear of missing out, artificial scarcity, time pressure, social proof, anchoring. These are powerful cognitive biases that marketers exploit very deliberately. Understanding that you're being manipulated doesn't make you stupid. Continuing to participate after you understand the manipulation, that's where it gets problematic. And I was doing exactly that for years. I knew it was manipulative marketing, and I still participated because the cultural momentum was too strong to resist. Until I saw those two women fighting over a TV at 4 in the morning and realized I'd had enough. Enough of the manipulation, enough of the waste, enough of the stress, enough of participating in a system that hurts retail workers, encourages overconsumption, damages the environment, and literally results in violence over consumer goods. Since I stopped participating in Black Friday, I've saved money. Actual money. Not the fake savings that Black Friday advertising promises. I save money by not impulse buying things I don't need just because they're on sale. I save money by comparison shopping throughout the year, instead of assuming one day has the best prices. I save money by being more intentional about what I buy and why I'm buying it. I've also saved time, hours and hours of time that I used to spend researching Black Friday ads, planning shopping routes, standing in lines, fighting crowds, and dealing with the aftermath of exhausting shopping marathons. That time now goes toward things I actually enjoy: reading, cooking, spending quality time with people I love, sleeping in on the day after Thanksgiving like a normal person, and I've saved my sanity. Black Friday used to stress me out for weeks. The preparation, the execution, the fear of missing the best deals, the pressure to perform well as a shopper. It was genuinely anxiety-inducing. Without that stress, my entire November is more peaceful. But perhaps most importantly, I've stopped participating in a system that I find morally objectionable. Black Friday forces retail workers to give up their holidays. It creates dangerous conditions that have literally resulted in deaths. It encourages wasteful overconsumption that's terrible for the environment. It perpetuates the idea that your worth as a person is connected to your ability to acquire stuff. All of that is bad, and I don't want to be part of it anymore. I want to be clear about something. I'm not anti-shopping, I'm not anti-capitalism, I'm not suggesting everyone should live in a cabin in the woods and make their own clothes. I'm saying that Black Friday specifically is a manipulative, wasteful, often dangerous manufactured shopping event that doesn't actually benefit consumers as much as we've been led to believe. You can shop for Christmas gifts without participating in Black Friday madness. You can get good deals throughout the year without camping out at stores at midnight. You can be a smart consumer without subjecting yourself to the chaos and manipulation of Black Friday. The retailers will survive without your Black Friday participation. In fact, many retailers have started moving away from doorbusters and midnight openings because the costs outweigh the benefits. Some stores now close on Thanksgiving entirely, recognizing that forcing employees to work on holidays creates bad publicity and employee resentment. The tide is slowly turning, but it requires consumers to stop accepting Black Friday as normal and necessary. This year, I encourage you to think critically about Black Friday. Ask yourself, am I shopping because I need something, or because I've been convinced I'm missing out if I don't? Are these deals actually good, or are they just marketed as good? Is this purchase something I've been planning for months, or am I impulse buying because of artificial urgency? Am I willing to fight crowds and sacrifice my Thanksgiving weekend for savings that might not even be real? If you genuinely enjoy Black Friday shopping, if it brings you joy and excitement, then do it. I'm not here to tell you how to live your life. But if you're like I was, going through the motions because you feel like you're supposed to, because you're afraid of missing out, because you've been conditioned to believe Black Friday is necessary, then I'm giving you permission to stop. You don't have to participate in Black Friday. You won't miss out on anything essential. The deals will come around again. Your Christmas shopping will be fine. And you'll get to spend your Thanksgiving weekend doing things you actually enjoy instead of fighting crowds at 4 in the morning for dubious discounts on stuff you probably don't need. I'm 38 years old. And I've spent 15 years being manipulated by Black Friday marketing before finally waking up and opting out. I can't get those years back, but I can make sure I don't waste any more years on this manufactured shopping madness. And maybe, by sharing my story, I can help other people realize they don't have to participate either. Black Friday isn't a tradition worth preserving. It's a marketing invention that's gotten completely out of control. It hurts workers, it encourages waste, it creates dangerous conditions, it manipulates consumers into spending money they often don't have on things they often don't need. And for what? So retailers can boost their fourth quarter numbers, so we can feel like smart shoppers for getting deals that aren't even that special. It's not worth it. Your time is worth more than that. Your money is worth more than that. Your Thanksgiving weekend is worth more than that. And retail workers deserve better than being forced to work through their holidays so consumers can buy discounted televisions. So this year, I'm doing what I've done for the past 6 years. I'm staying home on Black Friday. I'm spending time with people I love. I'm relaxing. I'm enjoying my holiday weekend without stress or chaos or manipulation. And I'm shopping thoughtfully throughout November and December, buying gifts that are meaningful rather than just on sale. Spending money intentionally rather than impulsively. It's liberating, it's peaceful, it's everything Black Friday isn't, and I'm never going back. If you're tired of Black Friday chaos, if you're exhausted by the pressure to participate, if you're done being manipulated by marketing tactics designed to override your rational brain, join me. Opt out, stay home. Spend your time and money on things that actually matter. Let Black Friday die the death it deserves. The retailers will be fine. The economy will survive. Christmas will still happen, and you'll be happier, less stressed, and probably richer for it. Trust me, I've been on both sides, and this side is so much better. So yes, I hate Black Friday. I hate everything it represents. I hate what it's become. I hate that we've normalized waking up at 3 in the morning to fight crowds for dubious discounts. I hate that retail workers are forced to sacrifice their holidays. I hate the manipulation, the waste, the violence, the chaos, all of it. And I'm done pretending otherwise. Black Friday is terrible. Participating in it is unnecessary, and opting out is one of the best decisions I've ever made. Join me in sitting it out this year. Your future self will thank you.